gosh, y'all, let me tell you, the great debate. Like, this palette was living in my head rent free. The moment I saw it, I loved it. I knew I wanted it. And then I tried to be rational and talk myself out of it because it's $88 and like 90 something cents. It just might as well be $89, $90 at this point. But this palette was living in my head rent free. And I was just like, you know what? I need all my alarms set because I need to purchase this palette. And this is the Harvest Moon palette by Ensley Reign Cosmetics. I have said what I needed to say. Let's jump into the video. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So as you just heard, the palette Ensley Reign, I have 5 looks for you today. Eyes are over here watering, but it's okay. It was worth it. And like I said, this palette was living in my head rent free. I was like, I don't need it. I was like, I know I have these shades. And then I looked at a couple creators, like I want to say My Sony. I have to link her channel down below. She got the palette in PR, and she's around the same complexion as me. She's in Australia, I want to say. And I was just like, you know what? I need this. I'm totally decided, like, I need this, I need this. So unfortunately, the palette is on pre-order right now. It's sold out very quickly. I want to say within 5 minutes, but I am carried away. I have not introduced myself, so let me backtrack for a second. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're older but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup. But please just call me Ash or Ashley. And eyeshadow is my jam. It's my jam. It's my favorite thing to talk about. So like I said, we have the Ensley Reign palette. This palette actually released. When did it release? It was kind of like chock full of releases that week. It was a lot going on. I want to say it was the very end of September, and I got the palette within like a week. So the shipping was very quick. I have not tried Ensley Reign Cosmetics before, so I did not know what to expect. They almost got me with one of their other palettes, which was like the Strawberry Moon. And then I was like, I don't need it. You know what I mean? So, but I'm very glad that I just kind of waited for this one to figure out, you know, what did I want and if this is something I kind of wanted to purchase. So it was the 29th. The 29th of September is when this palette launched. So it basically launched along with like the Glam Light collection, I want to say. It also launched with the Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet. I think there might have been something else, but this is what I picked up that particular day. I do have Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet, but that was gifted to me via PR. Now, a few things about the brand. I have never tried them before, like I said. So like I said, this palette was a pretty penny. I was like, oh, it's got to be worth it because it's $90. So Ensley Reign Cosmetics, they are a grassroots woman-powered business motivated to create high-quality beauty products, with a large majority of our products being handcrafted by us in our in-house facility in Oregon. So that's really great for me to know because, you know, a lot of times, sometimes you have these palettes and they're curated and you're like, is it private label? Not to say that private label is always bad, but, you know, some things it's like, are we paying that for private label? And this palette is magnetized. So this palette is actually about $20 more than their Strawberry Moon palette, I want to say. The palette is also cruelty free. Once you open it, it's good for 12 months. All this information is on the back and it's recyclable. They have the ensleyreign.com symbol on the back, distributed in Heartmark Company, grassroots, Grants Pass, Oregon. Ooh, can't talk. And then the net weight of the palette is 42 grams or 1.48 ounces. So the ingredients are also on the back. We have 21 colored pressed pigment palettes. So we have so many beautiful things. The packaging, the artwork, everything has just come together so beautifully in this palette. It is just so aesthetically pleasing to look. And this is like fall in a palette. Just fall. Beautiful. Like, I will be using this all the time. The colors are gorgeous. So as you can see, you can go ahead and pop the shadows out. So if you want to go ahead and rearrange the palette, take a few shadows out. If you create your own palettes, you're able to. Also, we do have some embossing. There is a unicarton that comes with the palette that looks exactly the same. So as I previously mentioned, the palette unfortunately is sold out at the moment. There is a pre-order, and according to the website, the pre-order is going to launch somewhere between November 15th and December 11th. But if you are really interested in this palette, I would go ahead and make them move. As far as the palette at the breakdown, they said they have 8 breathtaking multichromes and 3 of them are holochromes, okay? And then you have 6 shimmery duochromes and foiler shimmers paired perfectly with 7 velvety grungy mattes crafted in our refined formula. The ingredients are also on the website if you're curious about looking at it prior to purchasing. And then it says also this is encased in our most intricate and alluring packaging yet. This palette is a fall love letter. Or a love letter to fall, because I still can't read. And each magnetic pan dances with possibility awaiting its next journey. So I have 5 looks for you. I do want to mention real quick, you know, I did this pipe cleaner tutorial, or not, well, I followed a pipe cleaner tutorial. Finally, like I've been wanting to do it and I am so pleased. This is literally a week old and it's still going. I have slept on it without my bonnet, with my bonnet, and every day it just kind of keeps dropping and I love it and it's still going. So now it almost took me out to do these pipe cleaners, but I will record it later for all my Sister Lot girls out there if you're interested. But I just wanted to go ahead and take a minute to mention that. I'm going to shut up because like I said, we have 5 looks. So let's get started. All right, guys, I am back. You know the drill. Eyebrows are filled in using my Goof Proof pencil, shade 3.75. I have my eyeshadow primer on, which is the McGRATH Labs Instensieyes eyeshadow primer. It does dry down to be clear, and I can't wait to play with this. So literally, I've played with this twice. I did 2 looks in one day, like I went somewhere in the morning and then went somewhere in the evening, but this palette is gorgeous. So I can't wait. It's so many endless combinations. And really, I don't think 3 looks is justice. So let me shut up and let's get to the first look. am back, and here are the first two looks. So, whew, I love how the looks came out, but this lipstick, I don't know. I have spent so much time trying to figure out the perfect lipstick combo. So what I did end up having on. So at first I had on my Pat McGrath Flush 406, and I really like this, but I felt like it was just too brown. It wasn't the right type of brown. And then I put on my Bunnies lip liners, but then I had the wrong lip liner, and I was like, wait, this is red. So this is the darker one that I don't usually wear with Dollface, but I do like this color. But I paired the darker lip liner with the shade Dollface. This came out with their All Done Up collection. So the eye looks came out gorgeous. At first, I didn't know about this look. I did not know. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling it, because I really blew out this cherry red or this burgundy shade, which is called Spooky Season. It's actually a very, very gorgeous shade right here. And then by me putting on Equinox, I was just like, I don't know if I like the gradient of those two. And I definitely softened this up. It just kept blending and blending and blending, just going in with like a really worker blending brush. Off camera, I did take a tiny bit of hayride in here just to kind of diffuse it out. But my goodness, the shade Bougie. Whoo, Bougie is gorgeous. And so is the shade Wishful Thinking. These two shades are kind of similar, where they're kind of holographic. You see those bigger glitter particles. I think I'm not sure if they're glitter, but you can really see it in Bougie. You can actually see it in Wishful Thinking. They're really pretty. Equinox is really pretty as well. I just didn't know if I liked it with the shade Spooky Season. But once I added on Bougie, it kind of worked out, and it just all melted together. I still think it's a little bit too red up here. I think if I wasn't using like another palette or just playing with it off camera, I would just kind of blend it down a little bit so it's not so red. But honestly, I don't know. It came out good. So now that I'm minding, now that I put the lash on and everything like that. So the formula is really nice. The mattes blended out really nicely as well. So very impactful mattes. You can kind of blend them out, blend them out, diffuse them, get bigger color gradients. They're smooth. They're very impactful. You can definitely tell the differentiation in colors. So far, so good. I didn't have any problem blending them out, popping them in the inner corner. I love how everything is just like kind of coordinating, but it's different at the same time. So, but for my face details, I went ahead and used my Rare Beauty foundation in the shade 430W, and I used the matching concealer, which is in 420 neutral. For my bronzer, I am on the mission to kind of complete my Mented Cosmetic bronzer, but I think I'm on the mission to just kind of let it go, because it's just kind of caked around the sides, and it just gets harder to pick up, harder and harder to pick up. I don't know. I'm trying to just like add it to the empties pile, but it might need to go to the empties pile just like this, and y'all just be like, it's empty, because at the end of the day, it's just getting old and harder to work with. For my cheeks, I went ahead and took a neutral blush. I went ahead and took in the Buff. This is a shade in my Blends Bunny Bare Cheeks palette. Followed it up. I told you about the lip combo. Struggled. Put one on, took my laundry out, took one off, put another one on, fixed it, add lip liner, add more lip liner, take away. You know the drill. Okay. And for my highlight, my good old favorite that's not on the market anymore, discontinued, but this is the Maybelline Master Chrome. It's just, a nice peachy gold highlight. So many people make that type of highlight. So we're still rocking with her. Like literally the best, like $8, $10 I've spent. So these looks are gorgeous. I love how they look. The shadows and multichromes went on so effortlessly. Even the shade Equinox, which is definitely more textured, a little bit stickier formula, definitely went ahead with some glitter glue. You know how I feel about multichromes, glitter glue, shades that have like a lot of mica, high impact, shine shades. Yeah, we're not gonna play around. We're just gonna put the blue on. Okay, so let me take this off and let's go with two. All right, I'm back. This time I decided to change up the primer. I just wanted to see how this would react with like maybe a more traditional primer, because the Pat McGrath one is translucent. This one is matte Contemplative State. It's one of their paint pots. And I like this one because it's like my complexion. I've been loving the Pat McGrath one because it's translucent. So it's like, it's great. And it's really been letting colors shine through. But I just wanted to try it with this palette. So let's go ahead and get am back, and here are two more looks. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and do like a more neutral look just so you can see the versatility of the palette, and this is gorgeous. And I love how now Sparkly Cider, this shade is stunning. I wore this the other night out with I want to say with Chili and Phantom on in the crease and in the outer V, and really just made it focus on Sparkling Cider. But this shade, oh, so pretty. And I kind of did it like just a smoky eye look. Really beautiful. So, and I love how it blends out in a corner. So if you want something just a little bit deeper, just to kind of define the crease, you could definitely do that, even though these shades do go deep. But sometimes you just need a little bit more. So I really love how this worked. Over here, I was like, okay, I definitely have to play with the greens. And you know, I'm really a green person, but I don't know, the greens are not really drawing me in this palette. It's like the taupes and the burgundies, and all these little different shades in here that are really pulling me in. And these shades right here, this shade is pulling me in. Like, I was like, let me lift the palette up right here. But this is beautiful, and this is beautiful. This is too, but for me, the star of the shows are not the greens. And you know, I love me some green eyeshadow, and I have plenty of green eyeshadow, so it's no like harm. The shadow performances are great. I love that you could tell, even though these are kind of similar, they're two different shades, so you do get like that variation of color. I kind of look for that, especially now in palettes, because you know, if you have a lot of multi-chromes, the shifts can kind of play on each other, and next thing you know, you just got like one big old shifty thing, and and it doesn't even look like different shades. But the textures are really, really smooth, even with the shades that are like a little bit more textured. So once again, very happy. This is very daytime appropriate, very wearable. You don't even have to go with apple cider to if you don't want to, but I just wanted to give it a little bit more definition and show you how like a lot of the shades are working. We have a lot of shades here to play with. Now I'm going to do one more look, so it'll be the 5th look, and like this, like I said, it's still so many shades that I haven't even played with in a palette, but I am definitely going to play with this shade Ghost Moon. Like, do you see this? Like, the shifts are just amazing in this. So it's definitely giving maroon, and then it gives blackened. I definitely have to play with it. So I'll be right back. I'm back. And I know y'all like, what? But I had to go take a lunch break, and I was like, maybe my eyes will stop watering right here in the corners, but they quite haven't. So if you see anything, it's my eyes, because that's what's happened when you do 5 looks. They get a little irritated. So they don't hurt or anything like that, but they're a little watery. So I'm gonna press on. So I just want you to know, like, that's not the shadow, that's just... am back. Here is the 5th and final look, and I am just in love. The shadows, they perform so well, and I'm trying to figure out, like, on top of this matte paint pot that I used in the last basically 2 sets of looks, the shadows perform really well over it too. And I love how everything just came out. It's really polished. It's really simple, easy look to create. You have a beautiful smoky eye. Everything, it just looks great. I'm really impressed with this brand. You know, this is my first time trying them. And, you know, I've tried several different multi-chrome formulas, but these formulas are really nice. Even the texture shadows are really pretty. And I just really love how this came out. This is like smoky without doing too much. But if you wanted to do a little bit more, you can definitely deepen it up. You can maybe add in a black shadow. The shift on it is just gorgeous. It's shiny. And then for the inner corner, I went back in with our shade Wishful Thinking, just to have a little extra pop in that inner corner. So like I said, there are so many shades that I didn't even get to touch in this palette. So yet again, it's still a first impression, kind of really first, second impression, because like I said, I did wear the palette last weekend when I first arrived, but I still have to try out so many shades like Sweater Weather. I need to try that out. I did use Forge, I want to say, and Tombstone I need to try. I need to try Hunter's Moon, Harvest Moon as well. So yeah, not too many, but like maybe a 4 or 5, but I got a chance to play with good majority of the palette. And so far, I am thoroughly impressed. I really like how the packaging looks, the artwork on there. There's a slight embossment when you go over across with the Harvest Moon. And I do like that the packaging is magnetic, you know, so if it's one or two shades that you just kind of want to pop and take with you, you have that choice. I'm going to be traveling next weekend, and I think I'm going to bring this palette. I also think I might bring another palette just in case, you know, just so I have options. I don't know, whatever. But I have a lot of options here. But I might bring another type of, I don't know. I have daytime, I have whatever. You know how it is when you travel. Like, I need options. But here, right here, you have a fabulous amount of options. So it really isn't necessary. So I do know from wearing the palette previously that the longevity of the shadows are great. They're going to last between 6 and 8 hours. I'm going to try to make sure I pop up a picture of what I created when I wore it out and about. I had a meeting to go to, and I was just able to create a look very fast with these shadows. The mattes are really great as well, because sometimes you just don't know if the mattes are going to matte the way you need it to do. But I feel like the color selection in this was just really greatly curated. Like, everything is just spot on. Nothing looks like it's repeating itself too much. The matte shades are great choices. You can go deep, you can go a little bit lighter. Even as some of the deeper shades, you can kind of buff it out, make it lighter. There's no matte shades that I dislike. All of them I like. Yeah, and as you can see, when I layered the Spooky Season on top of this shade, it kind of just transformed that shade versus when I had it with the second look right here, where it was like that pure berry shade. Even with putting the orange with this shade, also it just kind of muted it down also when I did the green look. But every single shade in here so far that I have played with, I have been thoroughly impressed. Even the look that when I started it, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me, but for me, I'm so glad I purchased this palette. I mean, like, it was living in my head rent free. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get my hands on this palette. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I really don't need it. But oh my gosh, I really, really want it. And it's expensive. So I'm glad that it's performing well. I feel like you get endless amounts of color combinations, which I'm really, really happy with. And like I said, like, you know, I love green shadows, but it's really not the greens that are like carrying it for me in this palette. It's the smoky plums and the taupes and the berries. It's just really beautiful. And I have to see how this shade performs, because let's see, let's get a little swatch. Yeah. I mean, this is just good. That is, oh my gosh, insanely gorgeous. So yes, I love this palette. Let me know if you picked it up. Let me know your thoughts on it. Were you able to grab it? I know it is available on a pre-order right now, which is going to be 6 to 8 weeks, which is like, but I mean, even if you get it in November, it's still going to be during the time season to have it. I would definitely pick it up if this is something that you were looking at, because even though I have so many Multichromes, so many beautiful different type of shadows, even across my Terra Moons and my Glam Shop shadows, I just still feel like this is really unique to my collection. So I think if you have a bunch of shadows, I would still pick this up. So go ahead and leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite look was. I really like this look. I love my first look. I loved the look, the third-ish look right here that I had also. So everything has just been really great. So leave me a comment down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon. And subscribe to my channel, because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family. And with all of that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance, chair dance. Hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance. Hey, chair dance. All right, y'all. Bye.